Hey everyone, it's C-Wire with the C-Wire Nation. Welcome back. Today we're going to discuss the Hardjinder Singh incident. I'm sure a lot of you know about it right now. The truck driver that killed 3 people making an illegal U-turn down in Florida. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe and smash that like button. Share this out to all your friends, as it greatly helps me out. I appreciate you all. All right, so let's get into it. How does this affect me? Well, I'm a CDL holder myself. All right, I have a Class B CDL. I drive a garbage truck, and I take my license very seriously. I had to go through roughly close to 6 weeks of schooling to get it. All right, now, so the question is, how are a lot of these illegals, because this gentleman was illegal, okay, how are they getting these licenses? Well, he first obtained a CDL in the state of Washington, and then managed to also get one from California. So California wasn't the originating spot. To the best of my knowledge, it was Washington State. They have ways around it where they fake people to go in and take the test for them, and they fudge the paperwork. This needs to be tightened down. We can't have this. I can't count how many times I'll be driving home and basically trucks will come extremely close to my truck as I'm driving. I look over and I'm telling you, there's no bullshit. It's been an Indian driver. An Indian driver. And if you want to know why they're like that, go watch how they drive in India. That's how they drive here. Okay? I'm sure there's been more fatalities involving a non-English speaking CDL holder, but none that made the national news like this. But it'd be very interesting to find out those numbers, because I'm sure there's more. This isn't just the only one. Plain and simple, the crackdown from DOT, you need to speak English, read and write it as well to hold a CDL. I agree with that 100%. Yes, this is the United States. We speak English here. You have to be able to communicate. And I'm going to tell you how they're going to do it. They're going to start catching these guys at the weigh stations or at the dumps. If they're driving garbage trucks, this is where they're going to catch them. They're going to pull them into the weigh stations, and they're going to start shutting these companies down. Now, the company this guy was working for up and split, literally like a day or two after this incident. Like, they're a ghost. They're nowhere to be found. Now, more on that company. They had over 80 violations within the past year for caught having drivers who had fraudulent CDLs or couldn't speak English, couldn't pass their proficiency test, still on the road. And they went under a different name and then changed the name into something else. Now, this is common practice to Indian-owned trucking companies. They like to do this. They swap. They just put a new sticker on the thing, and this is how they get around it. Some of you on the road may see trucks with a piece of cardboard taped on the side with the company name on it and their DOT number. That's how they're doing it. That's how these companies operate. When you see the footage of the accident, you can clearly see that Singh didn't give a shit that he just killed 3 people. Even as he's outside the truck watching him put the sheets over them, he still does not give a shit. Probably thinking this wasn't going to affect him. Probably called his boss and says, this is what happened. His boss says, yeah, we're fucked. We need to get the fuck out of here. And they up and closed. So he managed to make it back to California. How, I don't know. But U.S. Marshals went and retrieved his ass and brought him back to Florida. Now, he is going to be deported after he serves his sentence. Right now, he's facing 3 counts of vehicle homicide. He's going to be in jail for quite a while before he's deported. I'm going to bet. I'm going to go on the low end and say maybe 40 years before he's even let out and deported. So his family ain't going to see his ass again until they send him back. Because if they try to enter the country, they'll just deport them back to. It's just the way it's going to be. I mean, plain and simple. You know, there are a lot of people like me who have spent money and went through a long, rigorous training course to get our CDLs. Okay? And they say when you have a CDL, you're supposed to be a professional driver. Well, let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of people out there that should not have a CDL, let alone a regular fucking license. So I think changes need to be made. The changes are coming. I know there's a lot of truckers out there that are happy that now that these changes are coming and getting these people off the road. You know who else should be held accountable to this? The companies that hire these companies that know they're doing these business practices, hiring illegals, hiring drivers that shouldn't be on the road to ship their products, they should also have to bear the burden of this. Because they're opting to use these people to put their products on to get them to where they want to get them to because it's cheap. Let me tell you, that shit also needs to stop. So, meet me down in the comments. Let me know what you think of this. And I will respond, and I'll talk to you all later. This is C-Wire, Poppin' Smoke, out.